Hello students, I, Mrs. Smita Deshmukh, teacher of Holy Cross Convent English High School, with the help and guidance of Easy Test app, is here back again with the next topic of chapter number 3, Circle of Maths 2. The topic that we are going to discuss today are touching circles, arc of the circles, and problems related to it. So let's begin. Touching circles. If two circles in the same plane have only one point in common, then the circles are called as touching circles. In simple language, touching circles are the circles which meet each other at one single point. They may meet internally, they may meet externally. Okay? And the second thing that you have to remember is that the point of contact lies on the line joining their centers. Okay. Now, means what? Point of contact lies on the line joining the center. It means that the center of the two circles and the common point of contact of both the circles are collinear. Okay. Now, the circle may touch each other either internally or externally. Okay, so first we'll discuss about the circles touching externally. Now when the circles are touching externally, here you can see that the two circles, a circle with the center X and the circle with the center Z, are touching each other at point Y. Okay, now you will observe that X and Z are on the opposite side of Y. So what do you conclude out of it? That when the circles are touching externally, the centers of the circle lies on the opposite side of the common tangent or common point. Okay, now when I have to find out the distance between X and Z, between their centers, okay, how I'll get the distance between their centers? It will be the sum of the radii of the two circles. Okay, that is R1 plus R2. Okay, when the circle touches internally, when circle touches internally, the two circles are touching internally. Okay, so their radii are on the same side of the common point, right? Now here, what do you conclude? That they are on the same side. Okay. When I have to find out the distance between the centers of these two circles, okay, what do you observe? That the outer circle radius will be bigger than the inner circle radius. So it will be R2 minus R1. Okay. That will give me the distance between the centers of the two circles. Now we come to the theorem based on touching circle. The statement of the theorem is, if two circles touches each other, the point of contact lies on the line joining their centers. What is given to us? Given part is a circle with center O and the circle with center P. Here also a circle with center P and circle with center O. Okay, they are touching each other at point T, right? In both the cases they are touching each other at point T. Fine. What we have to prove? We have to prove that this point T lies on line OP. Okay, here we start with the proof. For that we have to do the construction. We have to draw a line OT and PT and one of the common tangent passing through point T. Same is with the internal thing. Similar thing you have to do, passing with point T. Okay. Now here OT is perpendicular to line L and PT is perpendicular to line L at point T. Okay. OT and PT both are perpendicular to line L at point T. Now, by the property of perpendicularity, one and only one perpendicular can be drawn from the given point on the line. Okay. Now here From this, what do we conclude? We conclude that OT and PT, OT, this is OT and this is PT, are not different lines. They are one and the same. From that, we come to the conclusion that O, T and P are collinear. It means that T lies on OP. I hope I am clear. Now the next one. We'll start with the practice set 3.2, which is based on the concept of touching circles. Okay. Now here, before going to the problems, what you have to remember, touching circles, if they are touching externally, means the centers are on the opposite side. Okay, externally, centers opposite side, and distance when we are finding, we have to add. Okay, and when the circles are touching internally, the centers of the circles are on the same side of the common point, and whenever we have to find the distance between them, we have to subtract. Okay? Between their centers, we have to subtract. Okay. Now, what things you have to consider? Externally, add. Internally, subtract. Okay. So, here we begin. Two circles having radii 3.5 centimeter and 4.8 centimeter touches each other internally, means subtract. Centers are on the same side. Find the distance between their centers. So here we begin with the solution. Let the radii of the circle be R1 and R2. Two circles are touching internally. So by the theorem of touching circles, the distance between their centers will be equal to the difference between their radii. Let R1 be 3.5 centimeter and R2 be 4.8 centimeter. So distance between the centers will be equal to R2 minus R1, that is equal to 4.8 minus 3.5 equal to 1.3. So distance between the center is equal to 1.3 centimeter. Next. Second problem is two circles of radii 5.5 centimeter and 4.2 centimeter touches each other externally. Externally means centers are on the opposite side of the common tangent, and the distance whenever we have to calculate, we have to add. Okay. So let the radii of the two circles be R1 and R2. Let R1 be equal to 5.5 centimeter and R2 be equal to 4.2 centimeter. Okay. Now the two circles are touching externally. So by the theorem of touching circle, the distance between their centers will be equal to the sum of their radii. So it is equal to R1 plus R2, that is equal to 5.5 plus 4.2 equal to 9.7 centimeter. So distance between their centers is equal to 9.7 centimeter. Next problem. Here what you have to do is you have to draw the circles of different radii and show them that they are touching externally and they are touching internally. Okay. So the circles of 4 centimeter and 2.8 centimeter you have to draw. So what you have to do here? First you have to take the radii of 4 centimeter with the help of compass and scale. Okay. Take the center O and draw the radius, draw the circle of 4 centimeter. Okay. Then take the radius 2.8 centimeter in your compass with the help of this scale and draw the circle with the center P over here, so that it may touch the circle with center O at point A. Okay. Now externally they are touching means the centers of both the circles should lie on the opposite side of the point of contact. So it's done. So this is the circle with 4 centimeter and this one is the circle with 2.8 centimeter. Okay. So this type of figure you will get. The next one. First draw the circle with center P that is 2.8 centimeter. Then draw the circle with center O of radius 4 centimeter. Okay. After drawing this, what you observe is you will get one of the point in common, that circle should be one in the other. Okay, inner circle and outer circle. Okay, this type of figure you get when you draw the figure where the circles are touching internally. Next, very interesting problem, fourth problem. In the figure, the circle with centers P and Q touches each other at point R. A line passing through it meets the circle at A and B respectively. Prove that segment AB is parallel to segment BQ. Triangle APR is similar to triangle RQB, and find angle RQB if angle PAR is equal to 35 degree. Okay, the concept that we have to use over here is touching circle, obviously, and the properties of parallel line. Okay, so here we begin with our proof. Very first one, observe the figure. When you observe the figure, what you see, that P, R, Q are collinear. Okay, and R lies between P and Q. Okay, now observe the circle with center P. Observe the circle with center P. What do you observe? That PA is equal to PR. Why they are equal? They are because they are radii of the same circle. Okay, so we have drawn one of the triangle over there. We get one of the triangle. So two sides of the triangle are equal. So what can you say about their base angles? They will be equal to one another. So angle PAR is equal to angle PRA. Okay, isosceles triangle is forming. So by isosceles triangle theorem, the two angles will be equal. This is my equation number 1. Now I come to the next circle with the center Q. Here RQ is equal to QB. Okay, so their base angles again will be equal. So QRB is equal to QBR, right? So this is my equation number 2, isosceles triangle theorem. This is my equation number 2. Now come to the next one, that is point R. You come to the point R and observe the angle ARP and QRB. Okay, which angle they are forming? They are forming vertically opposite angles. So the two angles will be congruent to each other. This will be my equation number 3. Okay. Now first equation, PAR is equal to ARP. Okay. Third equation, ARP is equal to QRB. Okay. Second equation, QRB is equal to QBR. From this, what do you conclude? From 1, 2 and 3, we come to the conclusion that angle APR is equal to angle RBQ. Okay, alternate angles they are forming. Okay, so again angle PAB will be equal to angle ABQ, as R lies between A and B. Okay, now here the lines so forming over here, that is AP, will be parallel to QB by alternate angle test. Okay, now we start with the next next topic of it, next problem of it, where we have to show that these two triangles are similar. Now we have proved that PAR is equal to RBQ. Okay, alternate angles from equation 1 and 3 you can say. then angle PRA is equal to angle BRQ from 2 and 3. Okay. Now here these two angles are equal, so these two triangles will be similar by AA test of similarity. Third part of it. In third part, angle PAR is given to us as 35. So what will be the measure of angle PRA? It will be 35. What will be the measure of angle QRB? It will again be 35. Angle RBQ, 35. So in triangle RQB, angle QRB plus angle QBR plus angle RQB equal to 180 degrees. Sum of all angles of a triangle is supplementary, right? So 35 plus angle RQB equal to 180 degree. That is 70 plus angle RQB equal to 180 degree. So angle RQB is equal to 180 minus 70, that is equal to 110 degree. This is what is the proof of the third problem. Okay, very interesting problem. In the figure, the circle with center A and center B, okay, touches each other at point E. A common tangent touches circle A at point C and circle with center B at point D. The radius of the circle with center A is 4 cm and the circle with center B is 6 cm. We have to find out the length of segment CD. So you have to do certain construction over here. You have to join CA, AE, then EB and BD, and you have to draw a perpendicular passing from BD which meets point A. So somewhat this type of figure you are going to get. Okay, now here what do you observe? Very first thing, CA, okay, is 4 cm. So measure of AE will also be 4 cm, radii of the same circle. EB is 6 cm, BED is 6 cm, radii of same circle. Okay. Now these all things we have done, 6 cm, 4 cm. Okay. Now the angle forming at angle CDB will be equal to angles angle ACD is equal to angle CDB, that is equal to 90 degree. Now how 90 degree? That is tangent theorem. CD is tangent to the circle with center A, so here 90 degree. DB is perpendicular to CD as it is a tangent, so again the angles are formed is 90 degree. At point M we have taken a perpendicular, so it is 90 degree. All the three angles are 90 degree. So what can you say the angles which are forming at CAB? It will also be 90 degree. For that we will do the calculation. 90 plus 90 plus 90 equal to 270. So measure angle CAB is equal to 360 minus 270, that is equal to 90 degree. Here we are with our proof. Okay, all the four angles are 90 degree. Fine. So the given quadrilateral is a rectangle. Fine. Now as it is a rectangle, the opposite sides will be equal. Opposite sides are equal, so CA is equal to DM. Okay, and that is equal to 4 cm. So as DM is 4 cm, MB will obviously be equal to 2 cm. Why? Because M lies between D and B. DM plus MB is equal to DB. So MB will be equal to DB minus DM. That is 6 minus 4. That is equal to 2 cm. Right? Now from this we are going to calculate AM. Okay? With the help of the triangle so forming over here. That is MBA. Right, in which AB is given to us, means that we have to calculate. So AE is 4 and EB is 6. So AB is 10. Okay. So AB is 10. It is an hypotenuse. AM we have to find out and MB is given to us. So what we are going to apply over here? We are going to apply Pythagoras theorem. So by Pythagoras theorem, AB square is equal to AM square plus MB square. So AM square will be equal to AB square minus MB square. AB square is 10 square minus 2 square. 100 minus 4 is 96. So AM square is 96. So AM will be 4 under root 6. Okay. Now AM is equal to CD, opposite side of rectangle. So measure of CD is equal to 4 under root 6. This is how you solve the given problem. After this is arc of a circle, the next topic that we are going to start. Okay. Now here, if a circle is intersected by a secant, that secant divides the circle into two arcs. Okay, the circumference is divided into two arcs. So your secant AB is dividing this whole circle into two arcs, that is arc AXB and arc AYB. Okay, now AXB, by observing we come to know that it is the smaller arc, so it is known as minor arc, smaller, minor. Okay, and arc AYB is, by observing we come to know that it is bigger, so it is major arc. Okay. Now if this secant is passing through the center of the circle, then that secant divides the circle into a semicircular arc or a semicircle. Okay. After that we come to the central angle. Now what is central angle? From the center of the circle, if an angle is drawn, so it intersects the circumference at two distinct points. Okay. So that particular angle is known as central angle, represented by theta. Okay. So here angle POQ is central angle, that is equal to theta. Now this central angle gives the measure of the corresponding minor arc. So angle POQ is equal to measure arc PXQ, right? So measure arc PXQ is equal to theta. Now this is the minor arc. What is this arc? This is measure arc. So if I have to find out the measure arc, the total measure of the circle is 360. So total measure is 360. So 360 minus this minor arc will give me the measure of major arc. Okay. Now the measure of semicircular arc is 180 degree. Okay. So this what is all description about the measures of the arc. Then comes the congruence of arc. Now the two arcs are said to be congruent when the measures are equal and the radii are equal. But obviously their central angles should also be equal. So what are the conditions that are to be equal to get the congruence of arc? Their central angle should be equal, their measures should be equal. Central angle should be equal means their measures should be equal and radii should be equal. So here are theorems based on arcs of the circle. The very first theorem is the chords corresponding to congruent arcs are congruent. So here what is given to us is arcs are congruent, that is arc APB is congruent to arc CQD. This is given to us. What we have to prove? We have to prove that chord AB is congruent to chord CD. Right? So construction we have to do. We have to draw OA and OB, then OC and OD over here. Okay, so we get two triangles over there, that is triangle AOB and triangle COD. Now measure arc APB is equal to measure angle AOB and measure arc CQD is equal to measure arc angle COD by definition of measure of minor arc, right? But measure arc APB is equal to measure arc CQD. right? So angle AOB will be equal to angle COD from 1 and 2. Now in triangle AOB and triangle COD, okay, angle AOB and angle COD, AO is equal to OC, BO is equal to OD, okay, and angle AOB is equal to angle COD, right? So the two triangles are congruent by SAS test, right? So as they are congruent, so their sides will also be congruent. So side AB is congruent to side CD, right? Now side AB is the chord and CD is also a chord. So chord AB is equal to chord CD. This is what is a proof. Now we go to the next theorem, that is corresponding arcs of congruent chords are congruent. A circle with center O is given to us and chord AB is equal to chord CD. This is given to us, okay. We have to prove that measure arc AMB is equal to measure arc CND, okay. Construction we have to do. We have to draw OA, OB, OC and OD, okay. So we get a triangle over here, that is AOB and triangle COD. Now what is equal over here? Okay, AO is equal to OC, BO is equal to DO, okay, radii of same circle. AB is equal to CD given. So the two triangles, that is triangle AOB is equal to triangle COD by SSS test of congruency, okay. So all their angles will be equal. So angle AOB is equal to angle COD, right? This is equation number 1, right? Now angle AOB is equal to measure arc AMB and angle COD is equal to measure arc CND from 1 and 2. Measure arc AMB will be equal to measure arc CND, that is arc AMB is equal to arc CND from 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now we start with the next exercise based on arcs of the circle. Here first problem is given to us, that is GEDF are concyclic points of the circle with center C. Angle ECF is equal to 70 degree, angle ECF equal to 70 degree and DGF equal to 200 degree. We have to find out DE and DEF, okay. For this we start the solution. Angle ECF is equal to measure arc EF, okay. That is by the definition of central angle, right? So measure angle ECF is 70 degree, therefore measure arc EF is equal to 70 degree, okay. Now here measure arc DE we have to find out, okay. So measure arc DE plus measure arc EF plus measure arc DGE is equal to 360 degree. The sum of the whole circle is, measure of the circle is 360 degree, right? Now here I substitute the values. DE will be as it is 70 plus 200. 70 plus 200 is 270. So measure arc DE will be equal to 360 minus 270, okay, that is equal to 90 degrees. So measure arc DE is 90 degree. Now I have to find out measure arc DEF. So that is DE plus EF. So measure arc DE is 90 and measure arc EF is 70. So 90 plus 70 will give me 160. So measure arc DEF is equal to 160 degree. Okay. Next problem. Here triangle QRS is given to us as equilateral triangle, and we have to prove that arc QR is equal to arc RS is equal to arc QS. Okay. Now what is given to us? Given part is triangle RSQ is an equilateral triangle. So the sides will be equal. As sides are equal, so RQ is side RQ is equal to side RS is equal to side QS. Okay. And we are with the third problem of the exercise, in which a triangle is inscribed in a circle. Okay, that triangle is an equilateral triangle, and what we have to prove is, we have to prove that arc RS is equal to arc RS is equal to arc QS is equal to arc QR. Okay, and we have to prove that arc QRS is equal to 240 degree. Okay, now we'll start with the proof. Triangle RQS is an equilateral triangle, so RQ is equal to RS is equal to QS. Sides of an equilateral triangle are congruent, so their corresponding arcs will also be congruent. So arc RS is equal to arc QS is equal to arc QR. Okay, now we'll suppose that these all arcs, that is arc RS equal to arc QS equal to arc RS be equal to X. Okay, now these all three arcs constitute the whole circle. As it is constituting the whole circle, the sum measure will be equal to 360 degree. So here arc RS plus arc QS plus arc QR is equal to 360 degree. So x plus x equal to 360 degree, that is 3x is equal to 360 degree. So what is x? X is equal to 120 degree. Now measure arc RS. Measure arc RS equal to measure arc QS equal to measure arc QR is equal to 120 degree. Now what will be the measure of arc QRS? It will be measure arc QR plus measure arc RS. 120 plus 120 will give me 240 degree. Okay. Now we move on to the next problem. Last problem, chord AB is equal to chord CD. Okay, and we have to prove that arc AC is equal to arc BD. Okay, we start with the proof. Chord AB is equal to chord CD. Okay, so arc ACB will be equal to arc CBD. Okay, arcs corresponding to congruent chords, right? So measure arc ACB is equal to measure arc CBD. Okay, but measure arc ACB is equal to measure arc AC plus measure arc CB. Measure arc CBD is equal to measure arc CB plus measure arc BD. Okay, now from 1, 2 and 3. What do we conclude? Measure arc AC plus measure arc CB is equal to measure arc CB plus measure arc BD. In both the cases, CB is common. So CB gets cancelled. So I am left with measure arc AC is equal to measure arc BD. That is arc AC is equal to arc BD. Very simple problems. Just solve it, practice. You will learn it properly. You will understand it properly. Thank you.